1985 saw the most dramatic car styling not seen in American sedans with the introduction of the all-new Ford Taurus. Amongst a sea of bricks with mainstream GM vehicles and Japanese offerings, Ford showed the 80s crowd that life doesn't have to be about boring style and cubism. Fast forward another 10 years, and yet again the Taurus threw our eyes for a loop, literally. Devoid of anything resembling a 90-degree angle or having sharp lines, the new Taurus was a design language of a look we've never seen. Even the sales brochure touted the Ovid design philosophy, and while the styling was at odds with journalists, one thing can be certain. The new Taurus was like nothing seen on the road. The Taurus that we are looking at today is a vibrant white clearcoat SHO or super high output, and is among the legendary high-performance Tauruses out there. Our review subject features the unusual medium graphite cloth interior, as most SHOs were equipped with leather. The SHO features a beefed-up suspension and steering system consisting of McPherson struts with lower A-arms up front and dual lower lateral links with trailing link suspension in the rear. Both front and rear features two-position electronically controlled shock absorbers and anti-roll bars. Traditionally, SHO Tauruses since 1989 have featured a 100% Yamaha-built V6 engine, but for the 1996 to 1999 SHOs, power was sent to the front wheels via a 3.4-liter dual overhead cam 32-valve SHO V8. This engine was of aluminum block and head construction with blocks built by Ford using the Cosworth process, then shipped to Japan for Yamaha to finish the top portion. This engine was then shipped to Atlanta Assembly for installation, and it features a 10-to-1 compression ratio and creates 235 horsepower at 6,100 RPM, 230 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM. In July of 1996, Road and Track magazine tested their SHO from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds, with 0 to 100 miles per hour reached in 19.2 seconds. Quarter mile was reached in 15.7 seconds at 90.1 miles per hour, with its top speed governor limited to 140 miles per hour. The SHO, as did all Tauruses, features a 16 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 5.6 gallons per 100 miles driven, with a total estimated driving distance of 288 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 15 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway, and 18 miles per gallon combined. Sadly, while previous generation Tauruses had 5-speed manual transmissions as standard equipment, this generation Taurus only features the 4-speed AX4N transverse-mounted automatic transaxle that was assembled at the Van Dyke Transmission Plant in Sterling Heights, Michigan, and was notable for having non-synchronous shifting. Alright, as we take a walk around the rear of this SHO, as we can see, pretty non-traditional styling abounds back here. It's very ovid and very bubbly. My wife said it actually looks like kind of like a melted marshmallow. But I really love the tail lamp treatments here. I love the rounded edges. I love the flowing curves. Everything just looks so graceful back here and very even up to date by today's standards. However, this little skateboard style spoiler is almost laughable. I've never actually liked those. Even when this car came out, I thought the spoiler was just too small. But down below, we do have dual exhaust. So overall, I really like the rear end styling of this car. Along the profile of the SHO, while outwardly looking like a standard Taurus, the SHO does feature subtle ground effects panels and a small spoiler, keeping the traditional sleeper look to the performance Taurus. The SHO sits on a 108.5-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 198.4 inches. Steering on the SHO is hydraulically assisted variable rate vehicle speed sensitive rack and pinions supplied by ZF with 2.8 turns lock to lock with a 38.6 foot turning radius. The wheels are SHO specific 16 by 8 inch 5-spoke aluminum wheels with P225/55 ZR16 all-season low-profile performance tires front and rear. Brakes are 4-wheel disc brakes with vacuum assist ABS and feature 11.5-inch vented rotors up front and 10-inch solid rotors in the rear. The brakes can halt the SHO from 60 miles per hour to 0 in 128 feet. Alright, and a quick look at the front shows a nondescript front end, very non-aggressive, with round headlamps and round turn signal indicators, and no fog lamps. And sadly, all in all, while the SHO is a great performance vehicle, in October of 1996 in a head-to-head test with the SHO and Pontiac Grand Prix GTP, the cheaper and more powerful Grand Prix not only gave the Taurus a run for its money in performance, it did also in equipment levels, in which Motor Trend said this: "The Grand Prix GTP, despite lacking some of the SHO's sophistication, is not only considerably quicker and more pampering, it's a bunch cheaper every time you write the payment check." Alright, now let's take a look inside. First of all, we do not have smart key access system because this is 1997, but we do have keyless remote entry. We've also got Ford's keypad entry system on the driver's side door. By entering your personal code, you can lock and unlock the vehicle. And taking a look inside, this vehicle has really stood up well over time. It is in absolutely fantastic condition, almost like new if you ask me. The current owner just takes immaculate care of this car. On the driver's side door panel, it is high quality materials, soft vinyl, touch, and some plastics. This vehicle does have the Mach audio system, and here you have your power mirror controls. You also have power windows, power mirrors, and power door locks with window lockouts and auto one-touch down driver's side window. The door pockets are in the style of a storage net. Alright, as you can see here, we do have 6-way power driver's seat with adjustable lumbar support and manual seat back adjust. The passenger seat is fully manually adjustable. On the driver's side instrument panel, you do have your headlamp switch, your panel dim, as well as your auto lamp. Down below, you have your emergency brake, hood release, and dual pedals because this car does not have an manual transmission, sadly. We do have a leather-wrapped tilt steering wheel. And let's take a look at these seats. These seats are actually different from the standard Taurus in the fact that they do have more aggressive bolsters and more aggressive lateral support. This car actually has a really nice grippy cloth in lieu of the leather seats that are traditionally found on SHOs. This is a feature that I really like and is actually pretty rare considering. Alright, let's pan through the interior and show more details. As you can see here, a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel meets the driver. It is a very simple steering wheel with just cruise controls, on and off on the left-hand side, resume, set, accelerate, and coast on the right-hand side. There are no audio controls to be seen. Full instrumentation with a 150 mile/hour speedometer and an 8,000 RPM tach. As Motor Week would point out, there is no readouts for oil pressure or voltage. There is a low glare finish on the instrument panel to keep the glare out of the windshield. And as you can see, the Ovid design language continues in here, especially with Ford's controversial integrated control panel. It integrates the radio and the climate control. This vehicle does have the Mach audio system with AM/FM cassette player with a 6-disc CD changer mounted in the trunk. It does have controls integrated into the face. And we also have a single zone climate control here. It is automatic controls. Oddly, the Ford opted for orange backlighting on the climate controls on these cars. And moving down, the SHOs are treated to a full center console, no bench seat here. As you can see, it does have the large console mounted shifter, and you do have dual cup holders that pop out of the center console. Cup holders are sturdy and well built. You do have a padded armrest with some storage inside. Overall, the interior of the Taurus SHO and Tauruses from this era in general are very, very nice places to be. They are very comfortable, they are quiet, and a very nice riding car. Overhead, we have a manually dimming mirror. We've also got our overhead light controls, just 2 map lights, and of course our power sunroof controls. We also have large padded sun visors with illuminated vanity mirrors with adjustable lighting. And of course the sun visors do swing out. They have no slide outs, but we do have a secondary visor here. And overhead you do have non-dampened assist handles. Alright, let's take a look at the rear seat now. The rear seat is just as comfortable and just as nice as the front seat. The rear seat does seat 3 across with 60/40 split folding seats. Nice attention to detail back here. The nice soft touch materials continue back here as well. And the rear seat is just a plain old bench seat. It does have the same kind of cloth as the front seats. The outboard seats have 3-point belts with a center lap belt. You've also got a fold down center armrest. There are no cup holders back here, however. Both seatbacks do feature seatback mat pockets. You've also got 2 rear air vents and an ash receiver. Overall, pretty nice rear seat considering. Alright, let's take a look at the trunk now. We'll just use the trunk button on the key fob to open the luggage area. It is spring loaded, so it does pop up pretty nicely. It is counterbalanced, so the lift over height is pretty good. Luggage capacity is 15.8 cubic feet. It is fully illuminated and fully carpeted. It is actually a really nice storage area. Tauruses have always been known to have large trunks, and this is no exception. Inside this little plastic container here, it actually opens the other way. Here we go. Hides our 6-disc CD changer. Just a standard magazine sits in here. Pops up and you can actually load and unload your CDs at will. And then putting it back in resets the system and reloads the discs for you. Underneath the floor mat is a compact jack or compact spare tire with jack and tools. Alrighty, and this does conclude our in-depth walk-around look at the 1997 Ford Taurus SHO. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and Instagram at BrinsOJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.